Dash gives his perspective on the recent Diddy Cassie videotape of the hotel incident. He breaks it down to what his thoughts are about what happened. Listen to Dame as he breaks it down. Check it out.
You know, I know Puff. So it's very disappointing to see that from someone that, again, I consider my peer. Someone that, you know, I've always, because we're the brotherhood of hip hop, showed a certain degree of respect. But, you know, you can't unsee that. And it's really a shame. And what I think when I see that, number one, I got daughters.
Yeah.
So, you know, if that were something I were to see happening to my daughter, you know, Puff, he's dead. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'd go do the time, or I try to figure out how not to have to go do the time, but I don't think I could handle watching another man or any man touching or doing any kind of violence to my daughter.
Also, at the time of this incident, when the hotel incident happened, Diddy also have daughters at that time as well.
And, you know, when I saw the apology, what I wondered is he has daughters. So I'm like, what, if I were to ask him a question, it would be, what would you do if you saw a dude do that to your daughters? What should that person's punishment be? Because that's what yours should be.
Yeah.
Now, where it's problematic in a big way, the apology, because just logically, he had already denied all of that stuff. So he had already said that, you know, he vehemently wasn't going to say that he ever did any of those things, and it didn't happen. And now, because it came out, he's saying sorry. But it's like now it's hard to believe anything else that he says, and it's hard not to believe anything that Cassie is accusing or alleging.
And Cassie did have this incident in the lawsuit as well.
In the lawsuit, because, you know, I think I couldn't fathom ever having that kind of aggression toward a woman. But I thought if he should have said sorry the next day before it came out, not because it came out, and then maybe it could have been looked at a little more genuine. Now, when I see a dude do that to a girl, I think that they must have got abused. And I feel that there must be some real trauma that happened in his life, because in order for that to be normal to him, to me, it means he must have seen that in his life as a young man, or it was done to him.
Was okay.
So I'm just curious to know what has been done to him where that could be considered as normal. But it's sad when you kind of have to not. It's like, I've had some really close friends, and, you know, they ended up snitching. And when I find out, I cry, because that's the funeral of our friendship. And that would be a person that I really liked as a person and liked to hang out with, might have hustled with, whatever. And now I can't work with them at all. They dead to me. So because I have daughters, because, you know, to me, no man should be doing that to a woman. I saw it with my own eyes. It's not alleged. It's like that was almost the death of a respect that I had for him.
So now that Dame seen the footage, he seen that Diddy admitted that that was him by him saying that he was sorry in the video. It is a factor to him. And by Diddy being a peer of him, he has lost all respect for him just because of what has happened in the video. Because Diddy did say that he did not do anything like that. Now the tape got leaked. Now he's playing cleanup. And now it's showing a different side of him that he cannot erase. And so now with that being said, Dame has actually lost respect for him.
And I don't see how I could ever get that respect to see him through any other lens than the disrespectful one. But, you know, this is also looking at that. It makes me know that I'm like again with me, if you want to take me to court and say I've been abusive, it's going to be because I yelled at you. That's it.
Yeah.
And some people that are around me might think that's the most craziest to be spoken to in a tone of voice and want to call that some degree of abuse. And I'm like, now that's abuse. You understand what I'm saying? And the fact that the people that are around me and in my environment, just because they're around me, know that not only could I never do that, I would never let that happen on my watch. Mm-hmm. Now, my issue is anyone that knew that was going on that still worked for that man is also a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. With leverage, power, and money, you're able to do a lot of things and even pay for people's lives, even pay for people to work for you and keep their mouths shut, even pay for people to stay with you even though you are abusing them horribly. Because sometimes in some situations, power is in the money, and money controls people, certain people. Unfortunately, it controls people. Not everybody, but it controls people to the point that they will say nothing or do anything against you because you are funding their lives.
And if you was watching that man abuse women and just because of a check you help cover it up or all that, then you deserve also what he gets or the buckshot of his karma. There's no morals. So it's like, I'm curious, all these people that were around him all this time, if they witnessed that stuff, why were they still there? But it was all right and acceptable all these years, but, like, while he paying everybody, but he's had a circle of powerful people around him for years, a circle of people that have rolled with him, that have been, they've seen this, and, you know, how could you still be there? So I'm not saying I seen it, but you see, I'm not there. So maybe if I heard, maybe, you know, you hear things, but you can't believe it, but because of the gray area, I ain't going over there.
And Dame Dash, he talks about the gray area. And he talked about it on a podcast a few months ago, the PBD podcast, the Patrick Bet David podcast. And he talks about the gray area.
The average person is doing. They see things that are immoral. They look past it until it's public opinion. And I'm a person that can't look past things until it's public opinion. So put it like this. If I had a problem with Puff, and I may or may not, it didn't just start after everyone started having a problem with him. I was never at none of those parties. You never seen me in no real pictures with him other than the last 20 years. And I was at his party once at the Hamptons with Aaliyah, Jennifer Lopez, and the Tiny. But that's it. And we left early. But just because I don't film him publicly or privately, it don't mean I'm going to diss him publicly. But if you diss me publicly, I'm getting at you if I know you.
Let me play devil's
I would never work for somebody that would do that. I would never be cool with somebody that would do that. And another thing I was thinking to myself, if I was just walking down the hallway and saw that, you know, I think I would hit with a chair or something. You know what I'm saying? Just because it was so crazy in that moment. So I just, you know, I know how I feel as a man. And I also know how much it's probably triggered other women that are going through that or have been through that. And, you know, it makes me feel sorry for that Cassie had to sustain that, regardless to whether, you know, she was all right with it. I can't see her ever being all right with it, but if she stuck around or not. That's what I always teach my daughter. The reason why she has to have her own money is because even if she meets a man and he's rich,
he's controlling.
And if she can't leave him because she's worried about her quality of living, then she becomes a slave to him. And, you know, a man's job is to take care of you, but he should know that you could leave and pay for your own shit whenever you want. And that's why, even down to Ava and Tallulah's mother, I made a business with them. With Raquel, I make a business with them. I make it to where you can walk away anytime you want and never have to worry about money because you got your own. I know that you're with me because you love me, or you're only with me because of the money.
Now there you have it. Dame Dash gives his opinion about, and also his perspective about the Diddy tape with Cassie of the hotel incident. Now this is the first time really Dame Dash has publicly went at Puff, because that I know of. All other times it has been like a type of mutual respect of them two of basically if they had any problems or anything, it would be behind, closed doors or whatever the case may be. But since this tape has surfaced, it's clearly, even Diddy himself apologized. It just opens up doors of people having conversations about the incidents. Like, share, subscribe. We out.